In today's video, I want to share with you a method which is a little more of a beginner method. However, at the same time, it is very, very impactful and it will allow you to become deeply present here and now. And although it doesn't go to the depth to which self-inquiry goes, it really will help you awaken to that deeper dimension of consciousness beyond all this stuff. Okay? So what we're speaking of today and what we're covering is becoming present and aware through senses, through your sense perceptions. Your five senses are constantly registering so much experience. It's constant indulgence in experience. And it's almost addicting. The more you are caught up in the contents of awareness, the more you just want to constantly stay caught up. And the ego thrives on this. And the ego needs content to thrive, to maintain this false sense of self. So what we're going to be covering today is going to allow you to strip away all the content and just tune into the fact of the experiencing, the fact of the sensing, the seeing, and so forth. Because see, what meditation and inquiry require of you, right? If you want to wake up to that deeper dimension of awareness, we need to separate it from all of the contents of awareness, contents in awareness. So inquiry obviously is a direct method of doing that, whereas what we're going to be covering today is a much easier, but a very effective method to at least go to a deeper layer. Okay, the problem is, as I said before, the more you are in the contents and just constantly focused on the contents, the more you just want to be stimulated by the contents. So right now, the way that we live life is just so much stimulation. You have to see like all of this experience that the senses are registering, five senses working at all times, on top of which you have a mind which is just going and going and going, churning thousands and thousands of thoughts which are just taking your attention. So how can we ever hope to wake up to something deeper than them if we are just so absorbed on the surface? That is what meditation is, that is what inquiry is, and that is what we're going to be doing with this meditation, which I'm going to share with you soon. The problem also lies in when we are in so much stimulation, the senses actually are becoming dulled. So let me give you an example. At home, having a meal with your family, and so many of us have the TV turned on when we're eating, and we're talking and conversing. So look at all the content that the senses are registering at that time, right? The food that you're eating. There are so many sensations that are just going on in your mouth. Your body, how like where you're sitting is being felt. Your feet on the floor are being felt. You're hearing noises, voices. You're seeing. So much, right? And you're constantly touching and feeling. So much is being registered. On top of that, you're thinking, right? On top of that, you're just like further engaged in what you're seeing. So it's just stimulation. And now you are completely blind to the fact that you are seeing, that you are tasting, touching. You are just so absorbed by the contents of what you see, of what you taste, of what you touch. You're not paying attention to the senses themselves. And if that is the case, right, because the senses are still here, it's just mind. If that is the case, if you're so absorbed in the senses themselves and the contents of the senses, then how can we ever hope to wake up to something that is deeper than the senses? That which registers the senses. What do I mean by that? What registers, what knows that there is eyesight and the lack of eyesight? Right? When you close your eyes, something sees that there's no more eyesight. Or what knows, because this deeper awareness is that to which all the senses report. All the experience registers to your senses, and the senses report to awareness. There's a deeper knowing of there's a smell and there's no smell. Right? There's a feeling and no feeling. There's sight and no sight. So what is it that knows, right? Because even if you close your eyes right now, seeing stops, right? The eyesight stops, but there's still a sense of seeing. There's still a sense of knowing. Is there not? So that knowing is what we are trying to wake up to. Okay, and if you're constantly just stimulated and lost in the contents of experience, then this becomes impossible. This requires a pausing of all of this. Are you ready to do it? Are you willing to do it? I said this is very, very addicting. It's very, very stimulating. It is very, very entertaining. So oftentimes that is the greatest resistance to meditation when we're even getting into it, right? But enough talking about the actual impact of the practice and what we're actually doing. Now let's get into the actual practice. The sense meditation is quite simple. You have to start to live. It's not even something that you do for just 15 minutes a day. However, it can start as that. But you have to really start to live more fully. As I said, because of this constant stimulation, you're becoming more and more numb. You're becoming more and more numb to your senses, to what is actually being registered. So now we're doing the opposite of that, where we're coming back into our senses. We're bringing our awareness deeply into the sense of what is being registered, into the fact of the sensing, living fully, right? So for this, if we go back to our previous example, while eating, turn the TV off. Stop conversing so much. It's different if you're out to dinner or whatever, but you have to start, like when you start to live this way, you really have to start to give your attention to what is being sensed. And also take the attention away from the constant thinking about the future while you're eating, right? You'll be eating dinner and you'll be thinking about the next meal that you're having. It just doesn't make sense. It's a complete waste of your energy, waste of your attention, keeps you caught up in the contents. So if we go back to that example, while eating, pay such full attention to the senses that are going on in your mouth, right? The tastes, the senses, the sound, whatever it may be. While you're also eating, recognize, right? You're not even creating these senses. Recognize that you're naturally just feeling your butt on the chair and your feet on the ground and your hands, whatever they're touching. Recognize the difference between solids and liquids. Either you touching them or you tasting them. Be so fully there. Now don't wait to do this till later. Actually do this right now. Recognize, so right now become so fully aware of your sense of hearing. Right now, fully focus on what you're hearing. You're hearing my voice, all the subtleties behind my voice. Maybe you're hearing some noises that are happening in my background. Right now I'm making this a little later in the evening, so there's crickets outside. Maybe that's registering into my mic. And maybe before you weren't really paying attention, but now that you are fully engaged, now that has come into awareness. So you're hearing more fully. Now become aware of the seat that you're sitting on. Not necessarily looking at it, but feeling it. Recognize that there is a natural sensation on your butt sitting on the chair. And again, your feet on the ground. Now bring your attention to the fact that there is seeing happening. Don't just take this for granted. Seeing is automatically and effortlessly happening. Look around you and fully see what is being seen. Maybe take a deep breath or two and see, maybe also there's some smells that weren't fully there before that you weren't registering, but now that you are. So this simply requires you to not try to become present or try to do anything. Just bring your attention so fully on the senses. If you're washing your hands, actually feel how the temperature of the water, how it's feeling, how the soap feels on your hands, the smell of the soap which naturally arises. You see how this opens you up to a deeper dimension of living much more fully? Now, this itself, the more you start to live in this way, it will open you up to an even deeper dimension of awareness, of being aware of that which is aware of the senses. We won't cover that for now. You can watch some of my self-inquiry videos if you wish to do so. I'll link them down below in the description box. But this itself is even simpler than that. Now, the easiest way to really implement this into your meditation practice is to just, because, you know, in meditation, your eyes are closed, so there's no eyesight. Usually there's no smell, there's no taste. It's just what you feel. So you can really tune in deeply to the sense of your body there, right? To the body sense, being so fully aware of the body. This itself will deepen your awareness like nothing else. It will allow you to anchor your attention, be here. This will allow you to finally sharpen your senses. Rather than constant stimulation and becoming dull and becoming like a zombie, like a robot, and living this life, it will allow you to live more fully, and it will keep your attention here and now, where life actually is, not constantly engaged in past and future, which ultimately have no existence. And again, it will wake you up to something way deeper. Put this into practice. Thank you for watching this video. Now, here are a couple of ways that I can be of direct help to you right now, okay? And I'm going to link everything that I mentioned right now in the description box below. So number one is you can join our free Personal Mastery Quest community, our Facebook group, on which you can interact with me personally and ask me all your questions. I love the community over there, and I do my best to reply to you as soon as possible, okay? Number two, if you have not yet watched my free Ego to Presence Masterclass, in which I teach you how to implement the teaching of self-inquiry into your life step by step and deepen your meditation and deepen your self-inquiry profoundly, then again, check the link in the description box below and go watch that masterclass. It is 1 hour. It will bring you tremendous value, okay? And now lastly, if you want to work with me and my team personally, and you want me to help you dissolve mind identification and realize your true being, then you can check out my coaching program, the Higher Consciousness Shift. All the details of it are down below in the description box. Just click the link that is under section coaching, okay, and it'll take you there to my personal website, where you can go through all the details and book a free call with me, and we can decide if we're the right fit to work together. That's all for today. I will see you in the next video.